So we actually have a competition in March, and we just open it up, and everybody can come and compete. And so there are about a dozen, and it's a really difficult decision. Judy Storch helps me with this, Michelle Jefferson, and we always have a hard time. And this year, James convinced us that he can do it, and you will see in just a moment. And here. He's going to do great. You're going to love him. James is graduating with a major in ecology, evolution, and natural resources with minors in environmental policy and in environmental geomatics. So he's really into the environment. He was editor-in-chief of The Trail, the departmental newsletter of Human Ecology Department, and the treasurer of the Rutgers Naturalist Club. James was employed on campus as a resident assistant, as an environmental law tutor, and as a writing coach. He worked as a research assistant on projects ranging from ornithology to water resources, and most recently completed a George H. Cook Honors Project on the implementation of water quality protection practices by New Jersey farmers. After graduation, James will work as a technician for the New Jersey Agricultural Experiment Station. We're pleased to have him, and is excited to spend some well-earned downtime with friends and family before rushing off to graduate school. Ladies and gentlemen, proud to introduce James Duffy.
There sure are a lot of you out there. Wow. Okay. Fellow students, faculty member, family, and friends, welcome. We're finally done. You know, as your student speaker, I find myself in an odd position. As a graduation speaker, convention says I should have some kind of special wisdom or life experience to bestow on you as you leave college and enter the rest of your life. But, on the other hand, as a 21-year-old college graduate myself, barely, I don't know much more than any of you do. So in fact, yes, if you want some life advice that will help you navigate your future, I advise you to find a grown-up somewhere in the audience after the ceremony is over. And if you do find one, please let me know, because I have some questions. So, lacking wisdom and lacking much life experience, all that was left to me as I sat down to write this speech was personal experience from my time at Rutgers. But as I thought about this over the last few weeks, I really wanted to share something from my time here that would speak to all of us, not just to me. Something at once personal and unique, but relatable and universal. My fellow students, faculty members, family, and friends, that something is you. The only thing I know for a fact that I can share about me, that we can all relate to, is how we mutually influenced each other over these few years, how we co-evolved together. So, today, I dedicate my remarks first to you, my fellow graduates. Today is, after all, your day. And then to everyone we've known at Rutgers who has shaped our experience here, and by extension, who we have become. Graduates, as you look around you now, I imagine many of these people are sitting in your midst. And finally, to all the people who enabled us to get here in the first place, those who helped create the versions of us that first walked onto this campus some 4 years ago, and those who helped us complete the journey they saw us begin. I suspect many of these people are sitting in the audience behind the graduates today. The role of others in our lives is a theme I think we'd all do well to ponder from time to time in the years ahead, but the ceremonies that punctuate the different phases of our lives, like this graduation today, provide us a nice excuse to acknowledge the characters in our life stories candidly and openly. Here are what some of those characters looked like in my own Rutgers story. I invite all of you to use this time to reflect on your own. A friend who confronted mental illness for the first time some 3 years ago, barely 19 years old, who now sits in this crowd, degree completed, unrecognizable for their ability to thrive. This friend showed me what perseverance looks like, that it's possible to change, to grow, and to be vulnerable with the people you love, no matter how insurmountable the burdens may seem, and that sometimes the night truly is darkest just before the dawn. Thank you. My many residents during my time in residence life, who showed me year after year different strategies to navigate some of the most turbulent transitions of life. A Rutgers professor who shared the story of their convoluted path to graduate school, who drifted through their 20s, lived on friends' floors before deciding to apply to graduate programs, ultimately becoming a leading researcher in their field. From this professor, I learned that the path after graduation is often winding, but that the uncertainty of the post-college years ahead should never be mistaken for failure outright. Life takes time. Thank you. Having recognized some people who shaped us these last few years, I'd like everyone now to think about the you that began this degree. Are they different than the you sitting here in cap and gown today, right now? Picture in your mind how it felt to be them, and think about what's changed. This being a SEBS graduation, some of you can probably explain to me how neurological development in late adolescence works to change our identity. But I think that's only part of the answer. I think the rest is maybe more fundamental. We change with the passage of time, with the accumulation of life experience, and being human, being a social species, those life experiences are largely composed of the people we meet along the way. What they say to us, what they do to us, how we treat them, and how we treat each other. So, to wrap up this theme of making my time on stage about the people who have made us who we are, I do have a few thank yous that I would be remiss if I didn't make. To my friends, both old and new, you have shown me what true companionship, laughter, and the joy of found family feels like. So much of who I am is wrapped up in what you have given me. Thank you. To my 3 older sisters, I admire each of you more than you know. Having your friendship and your example to follow, in triplicate no less, has made my life immensely richer. Thank you. To my parents, you raised a family of 4 while working up to 3 jobs at once or getting an education. You did this while filling our home with books and fun and love. You guided us when need be, but allowed your children the freedom to follow their own path. Thank you for your tireless work and sacrifice. And finally, to you, my fellow graduates, the School of Environmental and Biological Sciences, class of 2018. Thank you for what you've given me and for what you've given to each other, and for showing me that personal change is so often inseparable from interpersonal growth. It is through traversing the huge institution of Rutgers together that we arrived here today, better in every sense for having done so. So now, I'd like to take one final moment to honor the personal growth all of us have achieved together, right alongside our best academic success. Congratulations to you. SEBS class of 2018, it has been an honor to address all of you today. Thank you.